Good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. So it'll be live analysis Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, 10 a.m. is forward-looking. We'll read the current order flow and give insight to where price is going to go next, or where we think, due to the edge in order flow. And then we have live trading on Wednesday with Jay Trader, a stocks trader, and Thursday with Scott Pulcini, a futures trader. Risk disclosures. General disclosure, all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump right in. Let's see what's going on here. Here's our, I'll go over this liquidity tracker or marker today. But we can see the nice boost here, 930, consolidation, and then a move quickly to the downside and then right back up. High liquidity here at 45.80, also here around 84. It's gone through both of those areas, and it's heading on up into 90. Let's see, we have 4600 up here, 4610 up here as well. High liquidity, as you guys can see in the book at those areas here. Those are the targets based on this outlook or this time frame right now. This is bullish, right? It doesn't don't need to be a wizard to figure that one out. Let's just step back though, take a look at our higher time frame. Good morning, Noel and Jose. Alec, Techie Girl, Alan. Okay, yep. Good morning, guys. Oh yeah, so well, we'll see, Alec. Yeah, Tom will be away next week. Yeah, maybe we'll have some special events and other webinars and things to go over, like this liquidity marker in here, and cover in more detail some of these things. We'll have a trivia night coming up as well. All right, so we have a lot of different things kind of coming up, special events here in Discord. All right. Yes, there will be prizes. All right, guys. So let's zoom in here. Let's jump into the order flow again. Okay, I mean, we're still bullish here. We see this strong pullback now on strong volume. So we're looking for them to retest some of these areas here. Back to VWAP here. VWAP is aligning quite nicely with structure right here. So if we should see maybe a little bit of a bounce in here, I imagine. Maybe we have to go all the way back down here, 45.70. Yeah, it looks like they're selling strong. Looking for 45.70 here. The swing is here. And we're going to get into kind of low volume areas here. So it should reject around in here, at least some profit taking, maybe around 72.50. Now, that's not really very foresight driven here. However, we're just kind of reading the volume in here and where the liquidity is and understanding market structure here. Okay, I mean, it's very, very typical. You get down into these lower levels in here where there's not much trading. It's going to reject. This is rejection. Okay, auction market theory. This talks about rejection in these areas here, so here we go. Here come the sellers. Let's see if they can hit this 70, and then we get a bounce out of that. Yeah, I really like 70 here. Here's why. Okay, this is where it broke out from, and here's our structure. All right, so this is a really good area to look for a bounce and back up and tag maybe VWAP here. All right, let's read the structure down here quickly, guys. I do want to do a review of yesterday, some higher time frame analysis as well as for today, and then also go over this liquidity marker in here. Okay, there they go. There's 70. It is transacting and through. We should see some nice stop runs in here, and indeed we do. Let's get rid of CVD as well. Wow. Still going. Still going. Okay. Yeah, they seem to mean business here. We might have tagged a higher time frame level in here. 60 is the next level, and longer higher term liquidity down there at 60, and selling is continuing. Anyway, there was nothing in here to give us insight to a bounce. Nothing in the order flow. Okay, we see a little bit of buying in here, but structurally nothing. There's no big buying that we're looking for. So we look for that continuation of trend until we see something different. And if you just look at this here, I mean, there is nothing different. Nothing. I mean, the selling is strong. Julia, Gola. Okay. The Fed tightening policy. Okay. Yeah, sounds like we're definitely seeing a market reaction to if that's some of the Brainerd is speaking right now, then and he's mentioning something in there. Boy, you know, we're seeing a reaction to that. There's 60 transacting right now. Okay, lots of icebergs here. Okay, we can go a little bit lower. Maybe we can get down to 50 here. But we're waiting and watching now, watching closely. Okay, nothing has changed here in trend. Nothing. Okay, so keep watching the structure. We stay sell side until we see something different. Okay, even the break of this trend line, it doesn't matter. We want to look at this level here and then buying up here around 60. Okay, they're just testing it here and still remain sell side. I mean, the trend just hasn't changed yet. So we're waiting and watching, and we're getting some insight here. We're right in the heat of the battle here, so we will take a look at that higher time frame in just a minute here. Okay, we're making slightly higher lows in here, but you know, this is typical. Now here we go. All right, so now it's getting interesting. All right, so we've gotten some buyers up here. Yeah, let's see if they can push it a little higher here. 62 on up to where it dropped from up here. 64-ish, 63 to 64. Liquidity here at 63. There we go. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Now, is it clear what we're looking for in these areas in here? Okay, to understand this shift in order flow. Okay, now we're not quite out of the woods yet if we get lots of sellers that come in here. Okay, but it's looking pretty good. And if we get a bit more up here, buying up here, we should be able to explore a little bit higher here. Okay, look at the shift in the structure. Look at the shift in the order flow. So it's the context again between structure and volume within it and the order book within it. Okay, sellers, I mean, these are very tricky little areas in here. Okay, now they got the sellers on the hook here. If we can get buyers back up here again, here we go. All right, let's see it, buyers. Let's see if you can pull this higher. This is really like a cat and mouse game in here. Like, yeah, I like it. We're seeing buyers in here starting to come up. Okay, but you know, it's like trying to get one guy, you know, it's like a tug of war in here, and get someone kind of off edge here, and then run it. Okay, there's some exhaustion. There's some buyers. Yeah, that was very, very quick. And liquidity change here as well. All right, and then yeah, now we got these guys on the hook up here. Okay, these buyers up here. So let's see if we get sellers in here. This is a nice setup here. If we can get our sellers down here. Okay, top of the range, not enough buying. All right, let's look for our sellers. They're pulling liquidity here. I like that. Let's see it, and then we get our nice move down to 55 and maybe even 50 down here. Selling looks good. Okay, but see how they're slightly lower here. Now we're looking for follow through though on that sell side. We want to see the order book really offer lower here with high liquidity. Let's see if we can get that. A little bit in the order book. That starts to look okay. And let's see if they pull here, and then we get our, this is it. This is where we're looking for our sellers, right here, right now. And let's see it, sellers. Get some of these buyers on the hook. No. All right, now you got these buyers on the hook yet again, looking for a big seller here, and then we're going to get our follow through to the downside. Okay, looking for that. That would be our higher probability scenario at this point. Yeah, let's see it, sellers. Come on, let's see it. It's like they want it. It's just that we keep getting buyers come in, but we're making lower highs in here. Okay, now we're making a higher high. Okay, it's still open to this scenario though. Sellers here at 57.5. Let's look for it. There we go. Now they've got all these buyers on the hook here. So we're looking for the long squeeze. More liquidity on the offer here. There we go. Here our sellers are pulling on the bid. Let's see it, sellers. This is where they can move it. There we go. There's our quick move. See how this is, it's kind of challenging, and the quick move unfolds. It's kind of late to the party. You know, it's a tricky kind of way to get involved in here. And this is where you just have to accept the risk, you know, to capture this kind of gain. It was very, very difficult to jump in here. Like, you have to have your finger on the trigger ready for it when you see that big sell dot and you start to see the break here. Okay, or else you're in here and you're starting to see the signs for the move, and you've got to take the risk. All right, so let's see. So we made lows for the day here, looking for a continuation. Another thing in here, see how this is very, very typical. We'll see this again and again on higher time frames, lower time frames, etc. It does not matter. We typically assume around this 45.70 level here. I mean, we've seen this for years now. A lot of traders, and we were looking for it too. We're expecting a bounce. Okay, I mean, we're bullish. We're expecting a bounce here, maybe tag back up to the VWAP up in here, something like that, and then continuation. If there's enough selling in here, it does not matter how low volume node this is or not, and it means rejection. It does not matter if there's selling in here. They will mow this area right down, and that's exactly what happened. There's just tons of selling pressure. Continued on lower to 60. Now we're looking for 50, and we're just about there. Okay, we were looking for 55 in these areas as well, 55 and then 50. Any questions on maybe some of the nuances in here? I know this is tricky in here, but what we're looking for is to get, fuel on one side. We're going to anticipate the stop run here, which we do see here, and we're looking to see who's going to kind of win the battle in here. And there is a battle in here, back and forth. And finally, like a lot of times we'll see this little move in here, and it kind of it gets some people on the hook, and then we look for the selling here. I thought at this point we were gonna drop. This is good enough in here. Usually is what we typically see. Is we're looking for the sellers in these areas in here. We're making lower highs and slightly lower lows in here. Structurally, this is making sense. We were zoomed in and we were starting to see selling at these areas. We saw some exhaustion in here, a little bit of a boost in here. Buyers had the potential here, okay, and then get them on the hook, get the sellers here and drop. It came back up a couple more times, and then finally you can see they did not tangle with this liquidity up here. They added into the order book, and then we look for the drop again. We're looking for that selling down here, and then it happened very, very quickly. Okay, but we were looking for it, that scenario to unfold. Now, if it was going to be the opposite, if it was going to be buyers in here and then continuation, this scenario in here, this would look very, very different. Okay, this would be the first kind of signal, and then we don't want to see sellers in here at all. We want to see, in fact, maybe a bounce off of this kind of high volume node in this little range here, which would be right here, okay, around 58 and a quarter. We'd be looking for that, and we look for exhaustion, no selling here, exhaustion on the sell side, and see buyers come in here, and then more buying in here, and then the break. Okay, two different, totally different scenarios in the order flow we would be looking for. Okay, I hope that makes sense. We'll go over it again and again, but it's understanding the context in this range here, the context of the where that selling and buying is taking place, as well as what the order book is showing here. So you can see that in fact sellers they took this liquidity on here, and then in here they did not take it on. Okay, and we did find some buyers, and they pulled. Okay, and then they did not tangle. No, they did actually. They did tangle with this liquidity up here, it looks like. Not much. Only 8 contracts in there. Yeah, they did trade though. Okay, we should be down to 50 by now, right? Or through it. Just about. Look at the high liquidity here, 55, 56. Okay, I'd like to see the push through 50. We got some combo levels here from spot gamma, and liquidity down here at 40. So 45 and 40 here looks good. Looking for our continuation. Okay, now another kind of event here to look for is order flow around this 50 level. Okay, we see a lot of times get sellers to sell below it, and then come back up above it, kind of like this. Okay, but not quite enough here. We need to see more back up here around 51. Else continuation, 47 liquidity, 45, and maybe 40 here. Yeah, Alec. Yeah, I mean, there was some tricky order flow in here. I mean, we look for clarity. We want clarity in our order flow. And again, it's back to these 3 elements here, and understanding the context. Okay, we're in a downtrend. What's the structure in here? Okay, well, we did make we kind of bumped up above that structure here, but you can still see sellers in control here. Okay, we did not get above where they took control up here, and then we're making lower highs and we're making lower lows in here. Okay, so we're looking for sellers down at this bottom level here, bottom of the range here, and then the push lower. Okay, the long squeeze. Okay, and we got it. We got it. You see the stop run here, and you basically you have to kind of look for, if I mean, these are tricky events, but to utilize these in here, you have to be positioned. It's very difficult unless you have your finger right on the trigger here, and a lot of times that's what I look for basically when we get that kind of clarity, like, okay, they should drop it here. Like, I thought they'd drop it here. I'm pretty sure I would have been finger on the trigger right around here. Maybe it needed to go one tick lower. Maybe not though. I might have gotten involved and gotten caught up in it here. Okay, but yeah, even if I did, like, the stop would be up in here. Okay, or maybe even through point of control, I'd take a small loss right here. It depends. You know, a small loss, and then look again, and then get involved again, because I'm looking for it here. They're selling down here. If there's more selling here, I'm looking for the break. Okay, all right, let's take a step back and look at our higher time frame. Look at this. Wow. All right, this is just so typical. I thought they'd take it further, to be honest. For 47, 45, 40, just because you know, get below and get sellers down below, engaged below 50. Once there's enough selling down below in here, then the buyers can come in and do the short squeeze. Okay, so this is kind of interesting move here. It just kind of slightly went down below, and then we see the move back up. So in fact, now the logic here would be that, okay, well, if there's not a whole lot of sellers on the hook down here, we just might get trend continuation here. Okay, I don't know if that, do you follow me on that? So because they did not get a lot down here, we're not going to get that big short squeeze. Okay, we're looking for trend continuation, and then the squeeze maybe later. Good morning, David. 32 is an old naked VPOC. Okay, excellent. All right. Well, that high liquidity still in the book up here, around this 50, 55 and 3/4. All right, let's see if we get our sellers here. Looking for them at 52, and then push through back down to 50 and below. Lower high here. Looking for more sellers in here. Not much from the order book right now at all. So not getting a lot of clarity there. You know, buyers can move it right back up to 55. Sellers can move it right down to 50. Okay, we want more clarity in the order book here. Else we open ourselves up to some pretty wild swings in here. Okay, does that make sense as well? Like, you know, why or if maybe and it's fine if you want to take the risk and place your stops accordingly. Okay, but why I'm mentioning this here is what we looked at yesterday. When it's kind of dark in here and there's not a whole lot of liquidity in these areas in here, you can get erratic swings. Less liquidity equals higher volatility. Okay, it doesn't take as much to move the market. Okay, it makes sense. So why open yourself up to that risk? Okay, use the heat map. understand like imbalances in the heat map and structure. Okay, so let's just turn off volume here. Let's just take one of the elements away for a moment here. Whoops, not volume, bars. We'll leave that on. Okay, and let's just look at price action and liquidity. Okay, see if buyers can move it up here very, very quickly. Okay, there's not a whole lot here. Okay, there's liquidity down here. Now, what's the reaction to price action to this context of this liquidity in here? Well, it's not really pushing it away, is it? In fact, looking higher probability trade here, more likely would be that these sellers in here are going to hit it. And the reason I say that is because in here, now it's not doing that right now, but the reason I mentioned it in here was because price was accepting in this area here. It seemed pretty comfortable with this liquidity. Okay, when you see like a boost in liquidity here and you see price move away from it, it doesn't want to deal at that area. Okay, so now let's see if we can get our sellers again. See this small little range in here? We're looking for sellers here, and then we're looking for the test of 50. Okay, there's price action. So now we came down here. Now we're looking for follow through. Let's see if they can. Okay, 51 3/4, somewhere around there, and we're not getting it. Not getting it. Okay, now see the order book in here. Okay, they're kind of adding a little bit more in here, and we're seeing the move back up into 55, toward 55. Okay, structurally they have not broken this. Still an equal high here from these little points here. All right, let's see if we get more on the offer here. Looking for it, and a push right back down into this liquidity down here, 50. Here we go. Now let's see the order book though. We want that clarity in the order book in here. We're not looking at this kind of slop in price action between areas of high liquidity. We want some more clarity in here. Now they're showing more here on the bid. And the reaction was that well, price didn't really move that much. Okay, so yeah, okay, all right, we're back up again, and now we're seeing it. Now we're seeing the order book. Okay, so let's see if we can get our buyers in here and trade into and through, make a new high here. Okay, 56, and then maybe back up into 60 here. Okay, so that's the way we're looking at it here. See the demand in here coming in, and we're trading into, and then we're looking for higher areas for a price action to go to reach this liquidity here, 58 through 60. Again, is testing the. You can see how the traders test the market in here. What's the reaction to liquidity in here? And it gives us insight. Okay, that was a nice little stop run up there. They added more in here, 88 contracts, our new liquidity marker here. And they pulled. Okay, this ought to help us here. So we're seeing the order book in here. Okay, All right, and we're getting buyers in here. All right, let's see them trade up to 56 and maybe get our breakout here. No, not yet. In fact, sellers are starting to come in. Looks like they want that liquidity. All right, here we go. Okay, let's see it, buyers. Let's see it now. If you can get back up here, 55, here we go. Let's see it now. They're pulling a bit, or pulling and adding higher here. So we have that dark area in here, looking for buyers to move it back up into 57 through 60. Structurally, we keep making lower highs and lower lows in here, and that's not good. It doesn't bode well for it. All right, here's our test, 53.5. See that liquidity come in, and we found some buyers. Okay, but now we're back down into it. So we're trying to read this. We're trying to get some understanding about what's the market feel about this liquidity. Now, see the flip here? Let's see if we get sellers now. Now we're looking for sellers, and we're looking for the drop. Okay, and we're looking for the target being 50. Okay, does that make sense? I had to flip, and the flip came from this reading in here, right in here. There's literally a flip of the order book. Okay. Else we kept on seeing buying pressure come in here when there was liquidity that came in. Okay, and they're pulling here at 52. So we have not traded to 50 yet, but looking for it. What are the numbers in the rectangles? This is the new liquidity marker. I can show you guys where this is, and I'll cover it in here, what exactly it is. This sport is so exciting. Okay, so I'm just getting to the questions here. Well, what we're trying to read, we're trying to understand the market. We're getting insight. What do players think of this? That's what the understanding the order flow is all about. And how does the market react? I mean, the larger players, I mean, many of the players, we can read the larger players because they have liquidity, they have power. When you start to see, and it makes sense that, if I had a lot of power and a lot of money in the market, I would be testing these areas in here. What does the market feel about this area in here? Now, in fact, if I'm sure a lot of you have read Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. There's a brilliant passage in there, and it really stood out to me. And it wasn't Jesse Livermore. He was talking about someone else who he said he was just an amazing trader, probably better than he, I believe. But there's no documentation about his life except from that book, whereas someone came in, boomed into the office and said, so and so is buying this stock, a larger player. and it was a tip. And what this trader did was immediately he said, go and sell, I don't know, 1,000 shares, and then sell another 1,000 shares. And then the person who came in and gave the tip said, no, I told you you should be buying. And what he was doing was testing. Were they absorbing? And he noted, he was reading the tape literally from the ticker machine, that the tape was they were absorbing and they were buying indeed. So as soon as he figured that out, he said, dump the shorts and go long. So he tested it. He wanted to verify it. Was that tip correct? He just didn't take it as word of mouth. Okay? And this is the same thing with this order book in here. See it, look, more liquidity here. They're pulling here at 50. Let's see sellers now take it down through this area into 47. Okay? It's set up nicely here. Okay, they're being a little stubborn here. They're staying in the book at this 48.5, but now they're starting to pull. Now they're starting to pull. Okay, let's see it, 47. Okay, so we're just reading two elements here. There's no volume here. Jeff, you want to take a look at the hero? Sure, we can do that. I'm sorry, I've been kind of ranting on a rant here. I haven't gotten to your guys' questions very much here. So let me continue on here. I think I'm caught up on YouTube there. Let's take a look at. Oh, thank you, Nat. I really appreciate it. Oh boy, yeah, I'm really behind on YouTube here, and Discord here. Sorry, guys. You think that the lack of is spring break, the lack of liquidity in here? Well, maybe. I kind of doubt it, but maybe. And then Dove, what are you looking at here? You're looking at some. Yeah, you got your volume profile. You got high liquidity there. This is beautiful, Doug. Dove. Yeah, I really like it. Beautiful stuff. Very simple, very clean. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. It's in Discord here. Dove posted this. Maybe you guys want to take a look at it. High liquidity up in here, low volume node in here. He's got a level in here that's the VPOC, and looking for low liquidity down in here. Some beautiful stuff in here, Doug. Dove, God. Yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you. And let's see, David, you also, yeah, high liquidity in here. Whoops, sorry, let me get back to that. Nice one. Yeah, look at that. High liquidity in here. It pulled though, pulled. This one's a little harder to kind of understand, like, because it's pretty far away. And what's the reaction in here? Yeah, I mean, we see the move to the upside here, and then it kind of comes down. I'm not really sure how to read this one. Yeah, it's very curious on that one there. Anyway, I think yeah, we'll have to take a look deeper into some of those things. Yeah, if you don't know what to make of it, and then, well, basically, I think the answer is this, David. If we don't understand a reaction to it, then disregard it. As simple as that. And we try to get some sort of value out of it. And if we don't, like, then forget it. We don't have to. We can just simply cut that out of the equation. Oh God, oh God, Alec, I'm not touching that. Yeah, yeah, MC Local, yeah, that part, it really stands out. And it's amazing too. It's like you read parts of and once you kind of comprehend some of that, it can lead to so much insight, like about that trader in reminiscence of a stock operator. I mean, see how they're going to trade into these guys here at 49 and 3/4, and now he pulled. No, he looks like he traded. Yeah, definitely. Okay, now what's the reaction? Okay, sellers wanted it. Do they still have more selling pressure? Looking for them right here at 49 and a half, and then looking for the drop. If we have exhaustion here, and we don't know, because I don't have the volume on, but I'd be looking for sellers here and them to now push it into 47, which is what we were looking for earlier, was 47 when this move unfolded here. Okay, we didn't quite get down to 47. Three ticks away from it, it looks like. All right, so we'd be looking for exhaustion in here. Okay, no buying up here is what we're looking for, and then selling here. And see how they're pulling up here now at 52, and we're getting buyers interested. So there seems to be a bit of buying interest now. Okay, sellers were going to take these guys on. We saw that it was hanging out up here, and they're looking to trade it. Now we're looking for follow through. We didn't get it, and then they pull up here, and now we're kind of back up into these areas here. Okay, now let's see if they come back into the order book here. Add more in. I want to see them pull. I want to see this area in here. I want to look for price to start to come down toward these areas, and then them to be pulling, and then trade back down into, well, yeah, 49, 48. Maybe we can finally break into 47. Okay, this is just back and forth action in here right now. Okay. Yeah, they're starting to unfold. They're starting to pull here. They're starting to add here. So at least bottom of the range is what we're looking for. So there's a range bound trading strategy right there. Something to study. Look at the order book in here, and start to look for these areas, them to be exhausting out up here. Let's see if we get our exhaustion. Let's turn the volume back on for a minute. Not much. A little bit up here, not much, and then the selling does come in here. So they're actually auctioning up here. This is gonna, let's keep maybe the volume off here for now, and it adds a lot more to the analysis, that's for sure. And let's just look at the order book for right now. Okay. Well, anyway, you can see that yeah, they're coming back up in here. Now this move here happened without much of an order book change. So this is actually, I would say this is kind of interesting here. If we're finding buyers and it doesn't take much in the order book, well, then they should be able to trade back up into here, 55 and above. Maybe back up into these swings up here, 56. Yeah, I mean, it's dark in here. Maybe we'll find sellers and they'll drop it really quickly down here. It's dark in here, but without much skew in the order book, we're finding buyers. Then we're looking for buyers to take it higher then, because then a skew in the order book, with a skew, we should see a sweep of the order book higher. So they're trying to. Here we go, the 52.5. All right, do we get more buyers in here? Looking for it, and looking for a 56, 57 area here. And that didn't unfold. Let's see if we get it again though. Yeah, the book, they're reacting to this order book. So I want to see these guys pull now at 56 and 57. And they're not pulling. So the buying appetite seems to kind of dry up once we get up into here if they're not pulling. Yet again, skewing the book, find buyers. Okay, we want to see these guys pull though. The equation here, we want to see them pull up here at 56, 56 and a quarter. Okay, we've got our skew here at 54. That's great. What's the reaction to it? Not much. We're right in the middle between two areas of high liquidity here. Okay, now he pulls. What's the reaction? Yeah, all right. Now, let's see one more skew here at a higher level, maybe around 55, and we should get a nice move higher, 59 to 60. Okay, or I should say more likely to get that move. Yeah, elevator down, stairs up. Yeah, very typical. Okay, VPOC moved down to 51 and a half. Thank you, David. Gula, any way to get rid of the small dot? Of the small 4-lot iceberg. Yeah, sure. So here, let me just get to that. I'm not sure exactly what you mean here. Still looking for this move, guys. This 12, this is a 12 lot in here, right? Or at least 12 have transacted and it's still live in the order book. That's what it's showing here. Okay, well, we traded up to 59, almost 60 here. Okay, one tick away from 60. So let's just zoom out here and take a look. Higher time frame levels. 60s looks good. We drew up a line there. High liquidity can also maybe even get back up into VWAP here, 65, which I like. Anyway, we got to see quite a bit of buying for that to happen. There's 60. All right, let's see it then. Let's see if we can continue on. Mean reversion. At least back to VWAP, which, like I said, I like the structure there, the market structure. Horizontal line here, and then also up here. Yeah, let's go with that one. So 65, yeah, it could be a nice area to retest. Boy, we didn't look at any of our higher time frame yet, so let's do that and just quickly kind of cover it. We saw some nice follow through from yesterday. We were looking for it, and yeah, nice. We were looking for that move to the upside, and these are the zones that we marked up here on our 15-minute chart. Yeah, here's the move up into it. In fact, I think we even I might have had a line down here, and then I think I might have moved it up. I can't remember. But anyway, we see the hitting this area in this zone here. Pulled back. No, maybe I didn't. Pulled back. And look where that pullback came to. Came back to the top of the range. Okay, so it came here and then top of this range in here where it kind of broke out from, and then it continued. Okay, that was the pullback during our webinar, I believe, or maybe we had already ended. We saw the move back up into this kind of 67-ish level, and then we got the continuation in the afternoon here. These were the levels we were looking for. Yeah, traded up nicely. We talked about this area up in here, the wicks. We talked about candlesticks yesterday. Understanding rejection, and wicks mean rejection. And it came back up, spiked above it, and rejected again. And since then, since that rejection, we've been moving down, except for just now moving to the upside a bit. Okay, so again, like these areas and understanding it is in candlesticks, it disguises the meaning of what this is actually. This is what we want to see in the order flow. So it's like a derivative of what it's trying to tell us here. We're trying to get insight to it. Well, just look at the order flow. Okay, here's our move to 65. You know, we like this level. It's the VWAP. We have market structure up here as well. Great. Okay, we had to flip a few times in here due to the order flow. Here we are looking for the move lower, right in here. They traded into this 50 level here. We're looking for 47 because we knew there was selling pressure. They traded into this. This is the event here, and there was no follow through. So then we started to look for into the order book in these areas here, right? And then yeah, so top of the range. Then we were looking for the move back down to bottom of the range, and then we saw something in here though, where they were adding in here and pulling over here. That's when we were looking for the move higher, and we're looking for this 55. Then again, liquidity, high liquidity in some of these areas in here, and continuation. It's kind of curious. They trade up into this area here, and there was still more buying pressure here. That became kind of a little bit of an under over line in here. All right, so up to 60, 65, bouncing off of 60, our line. Let's see if we can get back up into 65 again. Liquidity here at 64 and 65. All right, let's go over this liquidity marker a bit. This is free. It's new. I'll show you where you guys can find it. If you click on help and you go to our user guide here, the user guide brings you to the knowledge base. It opens up this tab here. And you're now in the knowledge base user guide section. The user guide section is up here. And the knowledge base is this entire section. Okay, user guide, add-ons, Java API, and JavaScript API. So we're in the user guide section. We want to go to the add-on section. So we'll click on that. And then in here, all the Bookmap add-ons you can see listed on the left margin. We're looking at stops and icebergs here. It's blue here. It's selected, so that's the area we're in. And then on the right hand side, you'll see the subdirectory for this center article here on stops and icebergs. So you click on that and you'll scroll down through it. All right, so let's go through. Liquidity marker is the one down here added. So we'll click on that, and here we go. Okay, what is it? So it's showing significant changes in liquidity where they have occurred. Now it's a very, it seems like such a simple indicator. I still have not digest all of this yet, to be honest. It is very simple in some regards, but it's showing a lot of things. It's actually kind of complex. And what it is showing here, there's a couple different modes to take a look at. There's two modes. One will show you significant change in liquidity within a 5-second period. The other one will show you the maximum levels of liquidity, which is, this one is very simple actually. This one's quite simple here. It gets more complex with the aggregation in here, and showing the slash and the number behind it here. So right now it's aggregating all liquidity within a certain area. Okay, bid and offer. We may change that, likely change that, and we'll go through the different scenarios in here and take a look at it when we zoom in. But yeah, it can show you, there's different filters for this, and you know, you can read through this article, and you can also download it through the article in here. You click on install. Where is it? Install right here. Okay, that's where you can find it at the top. And you got the download link. You will have to have 7.3 build 24 or greater. Okay, which is currently our beta version. All right, so let's go through it and take a look here. Chopping around, guys. We're kind of still bouncing around our 60 level here. Back up to 63. That's about it. Okay, let's see some buyers come in. Let's see if we can see more liquidity here. No, interesting. All right, let's see if we get it now. Interesting move here. Okay, we may get our drop here. They're showing liquidity in here, and we're down here. Okay, now they're showing on the bid. Now watch these guys pull on the offer. Okay, so then we're looking for the move back up to the top of the range here. Okay, they show on the bid here, start to pull on the offer. We're looking for a move back up to around here. Okay, 62.25. Okay, let's see if we can get it here. We're basically the range has kind of diminished into this very small range here between 61.75 and 60. Okay, now they're pulling. Okay, let's get back up to 62.5. Okay, they're adding liquidity here, and they're pulling up here, so we can even get to 63 potentially. There's 62.5. Anyway, guys, I mean, you can see like how you can develop a range bound strategy out of understanding the order book and just the context of even two elements here, just the order book and price action. Okay, put some volume in there, you're going to get a lot more information out of it. Okay, here, this is rejection up here. We're back down here. So, and let's see if we get more skew here on the offer. Okay, and I want to see these guys pull. Then we can get a move back down lower. Because this rejected up here, basically. It came up here, and it quickly traded right back down here again. Okay, so we're open to a scenario down here of breaking the range now. Okay, so more liquidity at a lower level, pulling on the bid, and then the follow through to the downside, 58 to 57 or so, something like that. Yeah, let's see it. Let's see it, sellers. Let's see a break, and yeah, higher time frame. Yeah, 57 looks really good for if this can break here. Okay, see how it rejected again up here, and now here's our break. But this was kind of the key here, to be honest. Like this was very catchable, I think, to be honest. We saw the rejection up here very quickly, came right back down. It traded outside of this range. It did not accept. It came back down into the range, and then we were looking for the sellers here at this point. They should move it. We got one more push back up here, and it rejected again really quickly. It came up here, it came right back down into this smaller range. Okay, our analysis here on the range, it's kind of a range within a range. Okay, we saw that. Here's what I mean. Here's our range. Here's our range within a range right here. Here's our rejection. Here we're back in our range again. Here's our rejection, and we're back in the range again. Okay, looking for the break and looking for our 57 liquidity. Does that make sense? Do you guys have questions on that? I'll go over this again, but I think more as a now this is rejecting now too, and we're back up into the range now. Okay, so now we can trade back even to 63 here. Okay, all of this selling back did not accept at a lower level here. We're looking for acceptance down here below this 59.5 here. It's not. We're back up here. All right, then we're looking for the scenario here for buyers to try to trade it higher here. Okay, rejected here at 62, and then also at 62.5 or 63 up here. Now we're looking to see if we can get back up in here and not see it reject. Okay, because we're finding buyers in here. Okay, let's see if we can bounce off of this here at 60, come back up here, and then trade to the other side to 63. No, nothing happening yet. Yeah, it's choppy, Tommy. If you're talking about different correlations, yeah, we've looked at that quite a bit in the past, looking at all the stock indexes and correlated markets. All right. So it's still rejecting up here. I thought we'd have the move higher. It's rejecting, so looking for a continuation here to the downside now. I mean, we're back down below this area here at 60. Okay, so it's still rejecting up here. Okay, the structure, the order book is still staying in the book up here, basically, and we're back down here. Here, let's get insight here. High liquidity here at 60. Okay, we should see sellers come in and looking at 58 down to the bottom of the range, 57, and maybe we can get back down into let's see, David was looking around this 55 level and 54 here. Okay, so rejection up here. Okay, high liquidity, more high liquidity here again, a little bit lower here. This will give us some insight. It looks like they traded it. Okay, didn't expect that. Back up to 60. So let's see if we still get rejection though. Did not expect that at all. All right, well, starting to reject again. All right, the sellers have it here. They should be able to, looking for the likely move into 57 and 56. Yeah, I really like 55 as well down here. Again, looking at market structure. Here's why. Structure and structure. Okay, so that's going to be your low volume node as well due to the structure. And come on, sellers, hit the bid hard here, and let's break this low and get back down into that 55 area. There's 56. Retest to 57.5. Yeah, GG, definitely looking at some European close and some chop here. We're about 20 minutes away. No, it's not an absorption indicator, this liquidity tracker here. I keep getting distracted by going over this because we're looking at this price action. Here's our 55, guys. This is what we're looking for. You know, we're reading all of this just by understanding context of these two elements here. This is a great exercise to understand the order book and liquidity and its effect on price action. Yeah, let's okay, David, you request to go through liquidity settings end of the day. Yeah, we can do a special event webinar and go through maybe like after Tom's session or something. So should price go up after the European session is done? No, not necessarily at all. Yeah, see the aggregation here? There's 234 and then /2. Let's zoom into that area here and what this meant. There's just multiple. See how there's just so many different changes here within a 5-second range. But you'll note how. See, I have sellers and buyers here in changing. But if I zoom vertically, note how it aggregates them together. Okay, and I have 4 here, 327 plus 327, but for 4 different levels here. Or 4 different changes, I should say. In this case, those changes are 4 different levels, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, it could actually be on the same level. So that was confusing to me as well. But you know, I spoke with the developers about that. You'll see like at one price level, sometimes you'll see the change multiple times. Okay, so we keep seeing like just one big change here in liquidity, but you'll see like the kind of pulling and adding over time at one level. Like we might see it over here. No, we're just seeing one big change right now. But you'll see 25, 50, you know, 75, and they're pulling, they're adding, you know, across. a level, and it will aggregate them for that same price level as well. That's the point. The other settings in here, we'll I think you've got the right idea, David. We'll hold a separate event maybe after the market, and go through it. But you can they've got a very nice programmers did a really nice job, I think. You can calculate and filter here. Okay, so right now it's showing liquidity has to change by 19 contracts or more. Click on that, and now I'm zoomed out. I want to see like 231 contracts change or more. There's also this filter marker near best bid and offer. This is really nice because a lot of times you'll see the market making algos, you want to filter them out. Okay, so if we boost this up, it'll really help. You for 8 ticks from best bid and offer, you won't see the change. It'll be further away. It'll filter out anything close to the market. And then there's also this filter here, so it doesn't clog up your entire screen. Really nice idea. You can input the amount that you want to display on the current chart, so up to 10 levels or markers, and then that's it. So if you zoom, it will recalculate that. All right, guys, you can see we got our move to 55. That's what we were looking for. Is bounced since. Okay, but we were just looking for this little area in here, 55. Went a little bit lower here. David's got it spot on around that 54 area. Yeah, this liquidity in here, 55, and then here 54. Yeah, the other items in here. So decreasing for showing the increase of liquidity and the decrease, or just the increase of liquidity. It'll make a calculation a little bit easier. That's how that works. So a lot of different filters for that 5-second change in here for the liquidity marker. And if you within that 5-second change, if it's a big boost, we've got our filters in here for it. Okay, and they're pretty powerful filters here. So 231 based on the viewable range in here. Then there's also by best bid and offer, and then the number of markers to show on that viewable range. Okay. Moreover, let's go to the max. This one's very simple, very straightforward. Show the max liquidity levels here. Okay, more than 20, and number of levels to display. Show up to 3 different levels in here. So let's see what does it calculate here, and nothing. No, here it is, right here. It's kind of hard. It was hard to see. 540 here, and that's the big change right here. That's it. And then here 255 right here, and that's it. Okay, that met that filtering condition. We'll play around with it. We'll cover it, I think, in a separate event. Okay, here in Discord. Snuffle platypus. I'm not sure if sellers seem offsides or not in here. There seems to be, I mean, structurally there still seems to be, well, yeah, I mean, this whole structure changed here when that moved back to VWAP in here. So yeah, they might be, get the hook right here, move it back up into the range. I mean, this definitely rejected in here. Okay, it came down just slightly, but it did make a slightly lower low. So, you know, and look where it tested. Okay, so let me put the question out there. Where would you guys look for that first retest? If it rejected here and comes back into the range, where would you be looking for the first retest? Okay, you're looking at initial balance. Well, I'm not covering initial balance, David, but I don't want to get too deep into the um, you know, market auction theory, auction market theory. And the VPOC. Well, these are kind of fancy ways of saying something else, and so I kind of want to shift away from that. Um, and talk about just order flow. So initial balance low. Okay, well, what exactly does that mean? Okay, well, the initial balance is defined as within the first hour. Okay, what is the volume within that first hour from the cash open? Right, so what was the low, what was the high, and what was the average or mean? Okay, which are different, and then you're marking that up, and then now you're playing off of that volume, because the concept is very simple. Majority of the transactions happen in the beginning and the end of the market, market open and close. So the concept is no different than this range right in here. This is a consolidation range. There's volume in here. It turned into a high volume node over here. Okay, we don't even have to have volume on in here. We know that there's a lot of volume in here. We can also look at our, and let's get rid of the delta column here for now. Okay, we can also look at our volume column over here. Okay, so the concept is this: high volume. If we reject down here and come back up into the range, you're looking for a test back to this initial balance low of this range. Okay, so the concept works on all time frames. It's just I'm trying to not debunk these theories at all, but just trying to understand the concept behind them, because these concepts repeat again and again. And here it is. It traded back down to the bottom of this range, and it rejected up here. It came back down lower, and it made a lower low here. So here's your initial balance concept. This can be taken forward into micro, nano structural levels. We've even done that exercise. We've looked at it. We can do it again if you guys like. We're kind of running out of time here today, but we'll do it again. Anyway, that's the concept here of understanding initial balance, highs, lows, and medians. The low volume nodes, high volume nodes, same concepts here. We're understanding the concepts in more depth. There's going to be a low volume node in here, because there's a lot of volume that traded here, and this is kind of the under over line when we talk about under over lines right here. Okay, so we know that that's going to be a low volume node. We don't have to understand, like, from the book, that a low volume node, and again, just bear with me. I know you guys, a lot of you guys are complete experts here and know this in your sleep. So the concept, though, is that it rejected here and then finally broke down, and then here it came back up and accepted back up into the range, and then it rejected and broke down, tested the other side of it here, and it did not accept into the range again. Okay, and we made a lower low in here. Okay, so this is our low volume node, and that would be the retest. So David, you nailed it on both there with the concept here of this kind of balance area. And it might be the initial balance low. I don't know. I didn't look at it, but the concept is the same. So now once you understand that concept, you can move forward in all sorts of time frames. Okay, the only reason that what's so nice about the initial balance concept is that it is a lot of volume within the first hour. Okay, you can take that for any amount of volume at any time though. Okay, it did not touch it yet. Okay, it's at 48 and a half. All right. So anyway, that's you know, understanding these concepts though, which the concepts are excellent, and it's understanding like who might be offsides within that balance area or consolidation period, and that's when we look for the stop runs and also absorption, exhaustion, where other traders might be positioning themselves. Okay, so this one tested back up into kind of the high volume node up here, okay, of this range. This little range in here, we can look right at it. Okay, it's right here. This is the high volume node right here. Okay, at 58, and it went just a little bit higher. It rejected. Okay, so we'd look for a bounce to see if it maybe bounce off of this here at 57 and retest back up here, and then if it could, then we'd be looking for our 60. You can see what happened. It rejected here and enough for sellers to trade back down below our kind of under over line, and look at, here's the retest back to it. Okay, and we got more sellers down here. Okay, great. Now we're going to zoom in here, and what we're going to look for is an imbalance in the order book and sellers at this level here pulling on the offer, and then a trade back down into potential trade. No trade recommendations here, but a potential trade back down into 51.5 or 50. All right, just by understanding the structure in this area here, and we're not even, we can even dim the heat map completely here. We're just talking purely about structure right now, and we're you know, giving insight to where price might be going just purely based on structure, and that's it. Okay, you can see how powerful just understanding structure is alone. All right, and some of these concepts, and then now we add in the order book, okay, with the heat map, and we're starting to understand, wow, okay, look, more demand at this area here. Well, we didn't get our drop yet. Okay, the reaction to this demand in here was they're actually pulling on the offer, they're adding on the bid, and price has been going up. And let's see if we get, now it's starting to kind of reverse back down. Now we're looking to see them pull here. I want to see them add on the offer. Okay, and then we did make a slightly, no, we made an equal low here. All right, so we can, if we can get a break of it, is what I was about to say. And here's our skew in the order book here. It happened very, very quickly. All right, so likely the move is still to the downside. And just kind of curious though, I mean, on this one here, because you're still seeing demand come in here, so it might reject and come back to the other side of the range here. And this is when we cover that and understanding this false breakdown. Again, we want to understand the order flow here in this area, and what we're talking about in the order flow is we're looking for strong moves to move it away from an area, and this is not a strong move. Okay, it might do it, it might still do it, but it's not as likely. They're still showing demand here, and we're back up into the range now, so basically it's a false breakdown. Okay, so buyers can now take it to the other side here and trade to 55 and maybe 56 or 56 and a quarter, this liquidity up here. Okay, so that's why when we look for the breakdowns and breakouts, we look for not only the price movement. Okay, we're looking for strong volume and a certain amount of price movement to move it away from that area. So then when we get a retest, maybe we get a very shallow retest back up into areas. Okay, so this one has, you know, it's came back down, it's back up above. We're going to see a stop run, and then now we can get to the other side of the range as well. T46, what are you looking at here? Let's take a look. You're talking about initial balance low breaking 1040. Yeah, and you can see that that was a false breakdown there. I mean, look at the squeeze here, right? I mean, understanding these concepts. Okay, so just this alone, like understanding this concept, you know, and look at the order flow in here. That's where you're going to get the edge. The concept was, okay, we broke all of this range and all of this volume in here. It doesn't matter if it's initial balance or not. There's a lot of volume in here. We broke it. We're back in. Okay, looking to trade to the other side of the range in here, right here, and then back up into potentially our VWAP, which, you know, traded out or played out perfectly. And then we're back down here again. All right, so good stuff there. And also, again, like even like this here is no different. Okay, this is a mean reversion too, back to the top of the range here. This is a false breakdown, and it came back in. This is no different than that VWAP trade we just looked at, okay, in concept. Anyway, understanding these concepts, like, it will just open up the floodgates for all sorts of ways of looking at the market and strategies and trading. Okay, you can once you start to understand like what's behind some of these things, and context, really context is key. Then we can really open this up and look at many different things in here. We can add in candlesticks, and we can go over candlesticks concepts here. Like here's rejection in the candle, right? We're back up here. All right, great. Well, what if we get buyers back up here then, okay, in the candle? Okay, we see sellers bringing it right back down. Now we got to see like a lot of volume trade back down here at 53. Then we can get a break. But see, we're getting rejection again. So I'm looking to see if we can break this now based on just candles, and then trade back up into 57, and maybe even higher. Okay. Now the candlestick, you know, trade here is you're looking for our buyers up here in the breakout, but we got our rejection, okay, twice. We're looking for the move higher. So let's see if now they can break it here. All right, let's look at the order book. What's the order book telling us? Not much. A little bit more on the bid in here, but it's nothing to, you know, shout about here. Let's see a skew here in the order book. See how the order book kind of kept you out of that candlestick trade, even though you see that rejection in here. This is dark in here, and trade it right back down to the bottom of the range. All right, let's see if we get back up here, and let's see a skew in the order book. If we get a skew in the order book, now we've got something. I want to see them pull at 57. Let's see them add in here on the bid around 54, 55. Let's see if we get it. And then the likely move is higher. I think it is Jeff in here. I have to thank him for the I like the likely instead of should. I kind of enjoyed using should because order flow tells you something, and because due to the order flow it should move higher, you know. Anyway, that's I'm going to leave that though. I using likely is better. Thank you for that. Was it Jeff P? Were you the one that were suggesting? I thought it was another Jeff. Anyway. Appreciate it. All right, guys. So anyway, see, even if you trade simple candlesticks like this, you know, understand that concept and understand the order book context in here. This played out exactly like we were looking for. Well, here it played out, it's like, well, they're not in the order book. Well, they can trade it back down to the bottom of the range. Okay, we're back up here, and we're looking for the potential breakout. They're starting, you can see them pulling in here. They're not adding much in here, but now they're adding here. Okay, so still trying to look to see if we can get back up above here, back up into 60. All right, so very, very simple stuff. Now we're getting that is disrupted here. We had 500 contracts come in here. There we have 380 coming in here, more 700 from two different price levels there. Okay, so this is now, it's getting kind of, is disrupting that our outlook, our analysis here. Okay, some changes in the order flow in here, so we have to react to that now. You know, that's what we're looking for, to get insight from what happened in here and what does the market think of it. The hero indicator. Okay, well, I'm sorry, we've got to get going. I'll cover it another time, Jeff. I mean, I'll quickly throw it in here. And take a look at it. Well, you know, they're hedging on the other side here. So actually, if they're hedging here, the hedge impact is going the opposite direction. That's weird. So in the order flow, what we'd be looking for then is let's see if we can get back down with some exhaustion in here and really looking for this to drop. Then I don't see any reaction to this hedge impact. They're going the opposite way. That's really, really strange. Right? We should see a drop in here. So we'll look for it. It might unfold. It might just take a little while here to unfold. All right. Anyway, guys, let me get back to the Discord. A few more questions. Okay, it was Futures Trader 71 that preached the likely versus should. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's more correct. It's not a big deal. I just, there is a point to be made that the order flow tells you something, and then it should play out that way. Doesn't have to do anything though. That is absolutely true. Absolutely true. It doesn't have to do anything. But due to the order flow, it's kind of like saying, like, you know, look, you got a 90%, you know, free throw player on the line. He should make it, you know, compared to someone who, like, you know, Shaquille O'Neal or something, was like, I don't know, 20%. I mean, he should likely miss it, you know. But like when you really have that like 90, 92 or 3% trade player, like yeah, it should unfold. It's just highly likely. So anyway, yeah, he was hard to watch from the free throw line, definitely. So let's see here, a few more questions. I'm sorry, guys, I didn't get to all your questions. Let's see. Thank you. Order book last minute, plenty of liquidity and downside. Okay. Yeah, here's our drop at Hero. I'm glad we did look at the Hero. I mean, this made really good sense that it should be dropping here, guys, due to this hedge impact. So this is that's a nice opportunity. And we're back down here. Okay, so now the way that I've been reading this hedge impact from Brent, at least, and it's so simplified. I'm no expert in it whatsoever. But I would imagine that the hedge impact should be done by now. And we'll probably see it kind of dribble lower, but this will probably flatline. And then we just might just kind of go sideways for a bit. Okay, so the hedge impact is already now it has unfolded. Okay, this gave us an edge in here. Okay, and you can see them starting to hedge impact on the other side now. So we're looking at maybe some back and forth in here now. Okay, but this was nice. Okay, this is some foresight here. Yeah, I'm the speaker in here. Yeah, I can do what I like. That is true. Oh, Doug, let's see. Doug is writing. Doug P. I think I missed your question earlier, Doug. So I'm sorry on that. Um, Doug's got probably some options information to take a look at here. Okay, thank you, Mosaic. Traders are selling SPY calls and buying puts. Thanks, thanks, Doug. Excellent. Yep. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Thanks for coming, everybody, and we'll continue tomorrow. There's good exercise though to go through this and just understand context of and some of these concepts of just price action, pure price action, no aggregated data here, and the order or the order book. Okay, and what does the market think about that order book? How does it react to it? And you can see that you can just read even these two elements and get tremendous insight. All right, thanks for coming, everybody, and we will catch up tomorrow for 20 minutes or 10 minutes with just me going through S&P, and then Jay Trader will come in and we'll go through some live trading with stocks. We'll see you then, and then line it up right now. I'm sure Tom is kind of itching to get going. Sorry, Tom. End the webinar now, and Tom will begin his Traders Lab room probably in the next 5 or 10 minutes, I imagine. And you can jump over there and continue on with the live analysis. Okay, thanks for coming. Bye bye.